what we're going to do here is very simple. Just talk and just talk and just talk about gaming. So, what we're gonna do here is I'm going to quickly introduce you to the people here. Uh, First of all, there's Boomchika. Boomchika, please introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. My real name is Bhargav, and my gaming name is Boomchika. I am basically a trainer, an English language trainer in real life, but I have a hidden secret life full of games.
Okay, next we have Goon. Goon in the wind.
This is Pratik. My real life name is Pratik Sinha, alias Goon in the Wind from Moon. Enjoying to be here as part of the gaming community. Been gaming for almost half of my life, so there I am.
I think it's more than half of the Atari.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, next we have Real Money, who is like always.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Hey guys, my name is Karthik. Most people call me Rail Money. So this name is from engineering when I started playing Quake, and Railgun was my favorite weapon. So I've been playing games since, I don't know, maybe I was 7, 8 years old, starting with Mario. And my most serious games have been Quake 3, and more recently Overwatch. And that I started because of Ashwath and Sunny. So Ashwath is also in this group. I guess he's going to introduce himself next.
That's not your main game, man. You're married to it. You're married to Overwatch.
Maybe I need. No, I probably need to get a divorce or something.
What?
Okay.
Okay, guys. Also, we have Ashwath here. Ashwath, please introduce yourself.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Awesome, man.
So yeah, for those who were just joining in and don't know who I am, I'm Ashwath. My name is Ashwath Ravi. My game tag is Ashar. And I've been playing games since I was 3 years old. And I'm 32 now, so that's nearly 30 years. So yeah, it's kind of shaped who I am.
Okay.
I think in terms of gaming, he's elder than us all.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, although I'm older.
Yeah, I think so. Just
Okay.
might be.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Sunny, and I've been gaming, from a very young age. I don't yet remember. My first game was Riptide on Atari 2600, and since then I've been in gaming, and thankfully my parents have been. I will not say supportive, but they have not been against me playing games and all. So it has been
More like
easy.
forgiving. More like forgiving.
It's been an easier journey for me compared to others. So that's about it. And I think we all met through Overwatch. I met Real Money through our previous job, and Prabhat Singh says hello. We all met through previous job, and then Real Money and we connected through gaming. We were talking about the gaming when it comes to PS3 and graphic card and all. And then after that, Real Money and we bought the Overwatch. I bought it when I was in the US, and when I joined in Erusis, that time we were still I think we were not discussing so much about game then. It's only after the first trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we started playing Overwatch like together, and then Real Money introduced me to a gamer called Wanderer, Prabhat Singh, and through Wanderer I met Boom Chika.
Boom Chica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Goon actually, Pratik, I call him Babul Bhaiya. He is my cousin in real life.
We
So
go way, way, way back when we were
way back.
knickers chasing rats with
Mm.
stones.
And
So
so Goon joined in later, and he became part of the group. And I met Ashwath through Real Money again. So Real Money has been the
I think
connection for.
the first time I played with Ashwath was back when I was working in Chennai. I used to work with Verizon,
Okay.
and back then we didn't have that much of internet connectivity, and we really had to go to a cafe to play. And I heard about Ashwath over I don't know some online forums and stuff, and I thought I was really good. In college, I was probably the best, me and another friend of mine. And then I played
Was
with this
this?
guy. I got completely wrecked. This was in, I think, there was one gaming cafe in Nadia, right?
Yeah, Zap. Yeah, right.
Zap, yeah.
Zap,
And then
I
I got
remember Zap.
completely
I
wrecked.
remember Zap.
Where it
Yeah,
all began for Chennai gamers, pretty much.
exactly. Yeah, so that kind of started me off on the journey to improve in Quake, and I think after that I played with a few other people, but we just didn't really have that connectivity like the way we have really good internet connection right now.
Okay. All right. Well, internet connections has always been a problem. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go on with the topic that we have chosen for this episode, which is gaming hardware and gaming gear. When it comes to us. So, if you talk about me, what I have is a Masion 11 X11 keyboard, and I used to have a Masion 7 mouse, which was like. Rads? Cats. I'm forgetting the name. It looks like
Mad
Decepticon.
Cats?
Mad Cats, yes.
Mad
Yeah.
Cats, yeah.
Looks like a Decepticon. And yeah, so I had that. But then, obviously, being Masion and all, it did not last long. Then I switched over to a normal mouse, and then that started aching. So I switched to a vertical mouse, which is definitely not recommended for gaming, but it at least it does not give me any pain and all, so it's fine. So that's how I game, and I have a 980 card and i7 4820K. But when it comes to gaming, these have lasted me since I got it, since 4820K was launched. So it's been like what 2 years I think now, and they have kept up so far. What about you, Boomjiga?
Well, so I have a very standard, CPU and monitor and all of that composition in terms of hardware.
But
So
but
I,
it's
in terms
gaming
of graphic
worthy.
card, it is gaming worthy barely. I think once I hear the configurations that you guys have, I feel like shit, man. I have so long to go. But
Acha.
if I talk about the graphic card, I have a GTX 960.
Okay.
In terms of the monitor, I have an LG monitor. I don't even know what model it is. It's widescreen and it is IPS. That's all I know.
Is it 60 hertz?
And the mouse and the keyboard that I have, most people are not even aware of the company and all of that. So the company is called eBlue, and the mouse is called Cobra, and the
Okay.
keyboard is called Polygon. I
Okay.
will be honest, I myself was not aware of these products until I actually bought them on Amazon because they were very cheap. But they serve me well. That
Same
they're
here.
decent. They're far better than what I had earlier.
Okay.
But then I am very glad that I just recently bought a SteelSeries mouse pad, which Goon often refers to as a mattress
Okay.
rather than a mouse pad. But
Obviously, it's
and,
using.
but it really suits my huge mouse pad. But since I have a huge hand, the next buy that I'm looking for is a mouse that actually fits my hand.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're gonna give competition to Undertaker's hand, man. So big.
Yeah.
Asha, can you say can you describe what you have, what you use?
Right now I'm using Zowie EC2A, and my mousepad is a Zowie GSR.
Okay.
So how this came about? Well, actually, this mouse was given to me by a very good friend of mine. You might know him, Sriram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone knows.
Yeah. So he's just got like every mouse on the planet pretty much. So he had 2 of these, and he keeps telling me, "You should try this mouse. You should try this mouse." And
Yeah. Okay. So didn't he get it for free? He ordered one and
well,
he got 2.
I think so. Yeah, it might be.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Was that Sriram or somebody else? I don't know.
I'm just.
No, I
confused.
think that was someone else actually.
Oh, also, I think that was an iPhone. So someone ordered an iPhone.
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
No,
two
it was this
iPhones,
guy.
and
It
they-
was
Yeah, that was Nishant, Arcade
Chandra.
Source iPhone.
Yeah.
Please do share the details from where you got one buy one get one free, man. The world needs more of such offers
It was a mistake, I think. Yeah.
because there are people like me in the world who always are on the lookout of freebies.
Okay.
Okay, and
Who does not?
what keyboard do you use?
Right now I'm just using the old school TVS Gold,
Aha.
the mechanical keyboard.
Oh man, that's been a favorite for so many gamers. I think. So when I used to play in a gaming cafe, I think most of the people in our age group have started with gaming cafes, at least in India. And when I was playing in a gaming cafe, we used to have TVS Gold keyboards in every cubicle.
Yeah.
And the click, 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 click sound that it makes every time you press the keys, it's so satisfying.
I think
And
I've
when
seen
the
those-
Amazon delivery guy came home, my brother was like, "Congratulations on the bank job."
Okay.
Okay, good. What do you use?
Okay, the only thing near
I
gaming
think
certified.
Ashwath didn't tell us about his PC config.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I actually just recently upgraded. It's right now what I have is an i7 6700K and GTX 970
Oh,
with
cool.
16 gigs of 32 megahertz RAM.
Nice.
Nice.
Did you say what's the frequency of the cards? RAM?
The RAM is 3200 megahertz.
3200. Okay, nice. Goon.
Yeah, as far as the gaming hardware goes, the only thing near to it is my Logitech G402 mouse, which I got recently. Got tired of the Logitech regular mouses which I had earlier, and the hardware part I am on almost the same level as Boomchika. I don't game on desktop. It's a laptop, Dell office laptops which we get. But it's pretty decent. Gaming worthy, yes.
Okay.
But nothing premium. Planning to get one, and I have got my good friend, very, very good, knowledgeable friend, Real Money with me to help me with that, and also to get in very cheap price. So, guys, if you need anything, head out to Easy PC.
Okay. Thank you.
Railway, just explain what do you have.
Okay, so I have a pretty old processor. It's an AMD FX processor. I used to be slightly ashamed of it, but now because AMD is back in business, I'm like, okay. It's like 4 years old. I managed to overclock it and get fairly good PC performance out of it. Have a GTX 1070 Zotac AMP edition, which is kind of a gift from a friend of mine.
Okay.
And then I also have a Zowie EC2A, the same as Ashwath.
Okay.
And incidentally, my gaming idol Anton Singo cooler is probably the best Quake player of all time. He uses the same mouse as well.
Okay.
And I plan to get a Zowie GSR, the same thing with Ashwath has. But right now I have a mousepad I ordered off AliExpress. It's called Raccoon something. It's pretty decent, but the surface is kind of rough. So I think it's scratching my mouse quite a bit. So that's a bit of a challenge. I have a Logitech think it's G710 Plus mechanical keyboard.
Okay.
And a LG 24GM77, which is a 140 Hz monitor, which is also what Ashwath has, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Okay.
And thanks to and a lot of the things I bought, the monitor was based on Ashwath's recommendation, and the mouse was based on Asura's recommendation. Asura's Sriram, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, so
that's about
it. So moving on, we all have met through Overwatch. Okay, and Overwatch. Is it fair to say that for a gaming, let's say if you want to get into gaming, if you're like serious about gaming, no, then you need like a decent gaming system to be very vague, and then you need a gaming mouse and a gaming keyboard. It's fair to say, right? And then you may or may not need a higher end monitor. A 60 Hz monitor should be like it can be the bare minimum requirement. Is that fair to say? You guys think?
Well, personally, I think there's a bit of yes and no to that.
Okay.
Like, just as an example, I got to play at ESWC in 2006.
Okay.
And back then, I had bought like the latest Razer mouse. I think it was Diamondback at the time. So I bought 2 of those and I'd taken it there. But once I went there, I actually saw people, all the pro players like Cooler, Toxic, some of the best aimers on the planet. They were all using the old Microsoft mouse, the wheel mouse optical, the classic one.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Insane, man.
And they had like the best aim on the planet at that time. So
you actually met those guys?
Yeah, I did. I got to play against. No, unfortunately. I did take pictures, but I lost all of them in a hard disk crash. I was kind of bummed out about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Real Money wants to do things to some pictures, I guess.
Go cloud storage. Go cloud storage.
I mean,
and since then, I've always felt there's this bit of misleading marketing. People think that you need 3600 DPI or like 100 buttons on your mouse and some kind of fancy lighting, and I don't think that's necessary at all, which is kind of why I like what Zowie is doing now. The products are really simple, but they just work right out of the box. You don't need to install any drivers.
Correct.
No customization. It's very like
Yep.
It's not the most appealing looking mouse, I guess. It's just
so when it comes to gaming mice, you have some pretty wild designs out there.
Yeah, and I completely agree with Ashar that the way, like, if I look at Zowie mouses, they don't look that appealing. But I've heard so many good reviews about them that it just, when you're gaming, it needs to work. And
the Zowie mouse, they look like something that you would get in an office.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I come from a WoW background, right? So I've been playing World of Warcraft since 10 years before I started playing Overwatch. Maybe a little more than that. I don't know. But because you have so many different skills that you need to do, that you need to keybind a lot. And at that point, the mentality was it's preferable if you have a lot of buttons on the mouse. So a friend of mine went ahead and bought a Molten Core, Razer Molten Core. And there were like 12 buttons on the left-hand side. But it made it so hard to grab the mouse that actually using the mouse was a pain.
Okay.
And that is where I think Ashar is right, that, with gaming mices, you need to have playability and, user friendliness above looks and everything else.
So forget about looks. For requirement, like on a need basis, at most how many buttons do we need in a gaming mouse, given an FPS game like Overwatch?
I think not more than 2 is required.
2 additional buttons in, right? I mean, you need the left.
You have the standard 3 buttons, that is the left and right click and the scroll click. And apart from that, having 2 other additional buttons is, I think, more than enough for an FPS.
Okay.
Yes, I think more important what's more important with FPS mice is it has to cater to one of the different playing styles. It has to fit comfortably. So for taking the case of EC2A, it fits my hand perfectly, medium-sized mouse.
Okay.
Very simple interface, and I like that button at the bottom which helps you change the DPI instantly. So it has like 4 settings, and it changes the color of the mouse scroll as well. So you know instantly at what
Which
DPI
setting
you are
you
at.
are? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's got a very nice sensor. Yeah.
Okay. So it's also, is it also fair to say that different genres of gaming games sorry, it demands different kind of hardware? Is it fair to say, or is it like you can play with the same hardware on any games, but you need to keep changing setting? Which is more accurate?
Well, I've played multiple games. I used to play a lot of Dota, although not at a professional level or anything. But I used to play a lot of the game for at least 15 years, and I never felt the need to have more than a standard 5-button mouse. And I was also like a top-end raider in World of Warcraft.
Okay.
And while a lot of
Right.
my guildmates were using the Naga and things like that, I
Yeah.
was always fine with the regular mouse. So
Yeah.
it might help. I'm not saying it doesn't help, because in World of Warcraft you do have a lot of abilities that you have to use, and it's kind of easy to quickly bind one to your mouse or make a new macro.
Nice.
So
One problem I have with
Yeah.
Razer
Ashwar
products
is
in
very true,
general
man.
is Razer products in general, they tend to complicate things. They have an additional application you have to install. It's called what? Razer Synapse or something like that. And that caused endless troubles for me. It used to crash my system so much, and every time you need to, to get your mouse settings right, you have to log in, you have to sync the settings from the cloud. And with the EC2A, it just works out of the box. So that's something which I like.
Okay.
The same thing goes out with the Logitech G4 too. Two options: either the onboard settings or the customized software, which is the Logitech gaming software settings, which are there.
Correct. See, but also apart from the games, that demand, okay, or maybe demand is maybe a wrong word, that would prefer a different kind of hardware or setting and all. There, it also comes down to personal preferences and playing preferences, right? So a guy might be uh, comfortable playing with the same settings throughout, on all the games, and for that he might not even require a mouse. So will that work out? What do you think? Like, do you think real money? Do you think with your mouse, with the setting that it currently has, will you be able to go to different games for maintaining the same settings, or do you think you would need to keep changing based on the game?
For me, see, I play. I
Quake.
think I only play FPS games. I play Doom, Quake, and Overwatch currently, and I have a
we
few
tried to
others.
get you into MOBA, but you were
Yeah,
going back to Overwatch.
It's like a old dog, new tricks kind of a thing. It's too difficult for me right now.
So
I
again,
do.
the same point. Again, the same point when Redmond is married to Overwatch.
Yeah, in a steady relationship or whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I can pretty much use this mouse for everything else. I don't need to change. One thing which I have noticed though is that if you keep if you keep switching between FPS games, it messes with your aim. So, like for example, when I play Quake Live with the guys on the Indian iOS server, and I come back to Overwatch, I'm like, the game suddenly feels very sluggish, and then it takes some time for me to get used to it again. I think this is something which Ashwath probably would agree with me.
yeah, because I feel like the engines just feel a little different, and which is kind of why I stopped playing Quake, although I love the game. I wanted to focus on Overwatch and have my aim be stable over there.
Okay.
Yeah, because what happens is you need to, like with aiming, especially for FPS games, it really depends on muscle memory. You kind of build slowly with time a muscle memory, and if that muscle memory is even a little bit off, you kind of feel it, and your aim is a little off, and your performance goes down a little bit. So you want to have a stability, a uniformity across all games that you play, which is often not possible because of different field of views also.
Okay.
Yes, true. So there is a school of thought behind that. There are conversion factors from Quake to Overwatch, from CS:GO to Overwatch, and stuff like that. So apparently you can change the FOV. You can set there's a multiplication factor from one sensitivity to another, which is supposed to help, but I don't think it's an exact science.
Yeah,
You
so
really need to practice.
I have seen this. What people do is, so they have like they have the mouse set on a higher DPI, and then when they zoom in, let's say for a sniper weapon, they suddenly press the DPI button again, and they go down to very low sensitivity, loaded DPI, and then they snipe out. So I'm like on the fly, going and coming back again. Players' preferences, personal preferences. So to me, I tried that. It did not work out. Or maybe I need practice. I'm not sure, but definitely didn't work out for me. So that was a
Yeah, and I think it also goes beyond just sensitivity and hardware, because the games themselves are a little different. Like if you take two similar weapons from Overwatch, you've got Farah's rocket launcher and you have the rocket launcher in Quake.
Yeah.
But the speed at which the projectile travels is different.
Correct.
So you get used to one, and then you predict the same one in the other game, and it doesn't hit. Similarly, you've got the railgun, and then you've got McCree. Kind of similar weapons. They're hit scan, instant hit scan. But with McCree, although you're flicking with both, with McCree you're trying to hit the head, and the rate of fire is different. So it just throws off your muscle memory slightly, is what I feel.
I agree. So I've stopped playing Quake for the last 2-3 weeks or so. I've not gone to Quake.
So safe to say, have kind of a sixth sense when it comes to jumping from game to game, if you want to maintain your aim.
Yeah. Can you just get get a feel for the game? If you feel comfortable, great. If you don't feel comfortable, find out what the issue is. And mostly it's not going to be with the hardware. It's mostly going to be with the game itself.
Okay. So see, Rail Money, he got his mouse from US. And we had a whole trip to Chennai, and it was a good trip. We had a lot of food, but he got his mouse from Chennai, and from US, and he got it for a decent price, right? I think you bought it during the Black Friday sale.
Yeah, it was around $70 or something. So the same mouse in India is a little bit more expensive, different. If you buy it from Amazon or something, it's 7,000 or whatever. If you buy it from any of the others more popular IT stores like IT Depot or MD Computers or something, it's...
So that brings me to this topic, about the basic problems that are faced by gamers in India when dealing with gaming gear, when it comes to availability, pricing, quality. It could also deal into, or what is the authenticity, whether it is a counterfeit. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this, Asha?
I definitely like to see more Zowie mice easily available here.
Okay.
They are a little expensive when you have to pay for it in Indian money.
Correct. Yeah.
And although I'd say it's worth it, it's still on the higher side.
Correct. Because
but at the same time, I don't think.
No, continue.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I was saying was I don't think we're lacking for gaming hardware, because Logitech makes some really good mice for cheap, and those work perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. In fact, they're very good products. And they've been in India for like forever, since we were in school or whatever.
Okay. And have you ever
used one?
I'm sorry?
Like you could probably walk into your neighborhood electronic shop and ask for a Logitech mouse, and you might get it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that actually depends on which part of India or which city you are
Yeah,
in.
true.
If you're in like if you go into if you go into a store in a city like Ahmedabad or Baroda or maybe some Ludhiana or
You'll
something
get
like
a
that,
Dell mouse.
yeah,
True.
you'll get mice worth 200, 300, 500, and they won't be good enough. I mean, so having said that they're not good enough, again, as Asha was saying before, I used to play FPS games a lot before I started into World of Warcraft. I used to play Half-Life and Counter-Strike. And at the time, I did not even know what mice I was using, but I had a decent aim and I was able to play competitively. So, those guys, so in the end, hardware definitely helps, but the margin is like, your aim does not completely depend on that. So even cheap mices are okay at one point.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll give a few inputs based on my experience. So I also run this startup called easypc.in, which helps gamers and PC users with getting the custom rig. So I talk to a lot of the suppliers, distributors, dealers of PC hardware. The biggest challenge for Indian gamers is that we need to pay that additional import duty, and then also there's this India-specific pricing, which is for some crazy reason it's usually a lot more. So you typically pay 30% more than what a consumer in US would pay for equivalent product.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it is. I think you didn't know for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Asha said, we do have equivalent products in the Indian market. So the monitor which I bought this specifically because the cost is the same globally. Almost, it's like around $300 is what it was, and it was around the same in US. Whereas if you look at BenQ monitor, Benq or BenQ, what do we call it? It's typically 3-4K more than this model, and it's kind of cheaper in US. So that's something which I don't like. I don't understand why brands charge Indians a premium for especially when they are a lot more
Because we
accessible.
are
Considering
More
the
to do
buying
with the
power of Indians, like the buying power of Indians, like way less than the Americans.
more to do with the government taxes and all those.
It's also I think it's also a demand supply thing because the market is not as big. They need to kind of keep it at a higher price to make sense for all the players in the value chain. So there's a guy who imports it. So there are companies which import the hardware, and then they have national distributors, and they'll have regional distributors, and from there it goes to specific stores. So there's a percentage cut at each of these points. So yeah, overall it's a kind of a low margin business, and when it finally reaches the consumer, it does get a little bit expensive.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to
So,
me,
what would reduce all of this? Having a local manufacturing plant?
I mean, not exactly a local manufacturing plant. I would say with increasing numbers of gamers. So, like what Steam has done, right? We have India-specific pricing. As the number of gamers in India will increase, I think maybe an esports league, which is coming up this year, if that thing results in a really large number of gamers, then we as gamers can actually lead the initiative to lower the prices. You can actually talk to brands.
correct, but
Do that.
the Steam increase in prices that are coming in with the increase in taxes. I'm not sure. Is that 1.5% or 15%? What is that? 15% increase, right?
Right. I was specifically talking about region-specific pricing in Steam. The recent increase, I'm not really.
No, so
controversial.
apparently there's this news floating around.
Mhm.
That I won't say it's a rumor because a lot of people are, a lot of prestigious sites also are making the same claim.
Okay.
That Steam is going to increase the prices in India and Australia by 15%. I'm not sure. I think maybe they want to make it normalize the price everywhere. because games in India are definitely cheaper than the same games that are sold in UK. We have had this discussion on PC Gamer group
Completely.
on Facebook.
Right.
So, what like I do not even understand why would anyone want to destroy the little bit money that we
Seriously.
save.
Yeah.
Anyway, counterfeit products. Anyone has ever? You think there's going to be counterfeit products when you deal with brands like Logitech and Zoe and something that Asura recently bought that he's selling off?
So it all depends on your point of sale, which place, which brand you are purchasing it from. If it's a known place
Correct, but
like
a product like
Wellington,
but a product like a Zoe mouse EC2A, it is a specific kind of hardware. It's not easy to counterfeit, right?
and it will
Yeah.
not be. It will not also be available at all the places.
I have not seen too many issues in terms of counterfeiting these branded products. More of the grey market versus your regular white market. So there would be dealers who would buy it without paying taxes and
Okay.
then sell it at a lower price to end consumers. But the consumer is at risk over there
Hmm.
because he would not get a local warranty. So if something goes wrong, then he's more or less screwed. So that's the counterfeit thing challenge which I have come across. But again, that's a personal choice. The end user takes a risk to do that.
One more thing which comes to my mind in terms of product quality is that more than having counterfeit products, I think the issue that I faced, at least this is something I've faced myself, is the awareness of gaming products in India is so low that a lot of the times even the dealers who sell them, they handle them really badly. Excuse me. They
Okay.
handle them really badly. So you end up getting damaged goods. Now, if you buy it from a platform like Amazon, you can, easily just get a refund or a replacement. But that facility is not going to be available on all platforms, especially if you buy from local dealers. So then it becomes a severe issue.
Okay. So I think more or less we are more or less we have covered what
One quick
issues
thing.
or good things, huh? Yeah.
One quick thing. The items which are seized by the custom officials, airports, whatever other places, borders, or how about those things? Do they have a point of sale as well, where people can get it maybe at a cheaper price?
It's a good question. I know for a fact that the booze they seize never makes it to a market. They just make it to somebody's kitchen or dining table. I don't know about the other products though.
A friend of mine, he got an iPhone 5S for 8,000, and that was out of box, completely sealed. It was seized by customer, seized from customs. I don't exactly know where exactly is that point of sale, but he got it for 8,000. 5S.
Most of the time, when they seize, custom officials don't actually seize a lot of these products. They just make you pay a fine.
Okay.
Or they take like a couple of $1,000 or something and they let you go.
But then still, there are still a lot of them end up being in the godown as seized items, which are later on auctioned or sold through separate channels.
Okay, I'm not aware of any of these channels.
We can look into it. And probably discuss about it on a later date. So what? So this was the episode for today. What we are going to do is next episode we'll be probably talking about Overwatch. We'll talk about I don't know. This might end up being a movie review podcast. I don't know. But we'll stick with gaming in general. It could be gaming movie reviews and all. I don't know, but we'll stick with the gaming. And thank you, Ashwath, for joining in. It was a great help. We needed someone in pro gaming scene. Ashwath, if you want to
it was my pleasure.
if you want to tell what your page is and the gaming group that you are connected with.
I don't have one right now, but As soon as I put it up, I'll let you guys know.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so this was Boom Chika, Goon, Rail Money, and I, Sunny, aka Sunny. Uh, uh, the, we will catch up with you guys later on a later episode, and this was fun. Let's do this quite often as we can.
Yes.
Tomorrow, day after tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. We'll put up a schedule.
Right. Great speaking with all of you guys.
Yep. Nice interacting
We
you with
speak
Asha
with
for
each
the
other
first
every
time.
day. This was a good break. We're talking, like
other
proper
people.
stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
All
We should do
right.
this more often. And thanks, Asher, again for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
Bye, people.
Okay, bye
Bye.
guys.